Na 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 na. Miri next.
And after I told you how annoying that was
Yeah.
in the show, hi, I'm Chip Kocel. This is
Hey, John Whitney, how you doing?
this is Edith Keeler's Edge of Forever Bar and Grill. Thanks for joining us. Welcome aboard.
Yeah,
The
welcome.
bar is open.
That's right. Hey guys, if you like what you see right away, just go ahead and subscribe. Push that button or whatever it is, ring the bell, so you can get notifications and when we upload new videos. And if you have never seen us before, well, get ready. We don't really know a lot. I mean, we're fans. We're not experts, right?
Right, that's right.
We're fans, not experts.
Cannot stress that enough. We are fans, not experts.
That's right. This week, as you could tell from my na 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 at the beginning of the tease, we're watching Miri.
Yes, Miri.
Which is a very interesting episode, actually. Not the best, but it's not the worst for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, how you doing, Chip? Everything good?
Yeah, good. I'm doing great. Hanging in there.
All right, hanging
How
in there.
are you doing?
All right.
This is,
Shit, that's right. We have Angel's Envy. What is it?
Angel's Envy.
Yeah, go ahead and pour some. Chip brought the Angel's Envy today.
Yeah, my wife got it for me a while back, and I've been saving it for a special occasion.
Oh, thank you, sir. Yes.
Healthy pour for you.
That's very good.
What is Angel's Envy? What does it mean? Again, is it the stuff that evaporates or stuff that?
Yeah, well, they
You know
say
what I mean?
that.
Which one is it? The stuff that is absorbed into the
Well,
wood?
they call the what comes out of the barrel during the years that they're in a barrel. It's called the angel share.
Okay.
So whatever comes off the barrel from inside the barrel.
Yeah.
And I guess Angel's Envy is this because the angels wish they would have the actual
Oh, there
stuff.
you go. Okay.
Chip.
Cheers.
There you go. Cheers.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. All right, we'll do this
Oh
first.
man, that smells good.
Oh, it's good stuff.
That is really good. Yeah.
All right, the Enterprise, guess what? Gets a distress signal. And we're on the bridge, and Spock is kind of going over, hey, there's an Earth-like planet, and he's going over all the details of the circumference and the mega
mass
weight and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And the closer they get, the more it kind of looks like, because he says, what does he say? He says, he goes, oxygen, nitrogen atmosphere.
Yeah, and then even Yeoman Rand knows the answer is that it's like Earth.
No, she actually says, it's Earth.
Oh, it's Earth. Okay, that's right.
Yeah, man, because she's looking, and then they cut away to the screen, and you basically see Africa.
Yeah. It's like it is an exact duplicate of Earth.
But you don't see Africa as if we would see it. The way it's oriented, it's kind of like on its side.
Yeah.
It's like it's not rotating like Earth, is it?
I didn't notice.
I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, but maybe they're going into orbit, so it's kind of like a different perspective.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and the distress signal was a Morse code signal, an old style Morse
Oh, was it?
code. Yeah.
Who was doing the Morse code?
I don't know. It was automated
One
apparently.
of the na kids?
Yeah. Well, we don't even know they exist yet. No way it could be them.
No, probably not.
We'll get to that though. But yeah, then you got the credit sequence, and after the credits roll.
Yeah. So, and then one of my questions actually before that is that where the hell is our Uhura? She's not on the bridge. It's what's his name?
It's Farrell.
Yeah.
Farrell's back.
And there's no Sulu. There's just some guy that kind of looks like the younger brother of the guy who was in Where No Man Has Gone Before.
Yeah.
On the right hand side as we face.
It's like a totally new crew.
Yeah, it's very strange.
It's very strange.
All right, so we come back from commercial from the opening, and we're on the bridge, and what are we talking? They're talking about the signal and about how they're going to get down to the planet's surface, right?
Right, exactly. They're actually, after the break, they beam down to the planet's surface.
Right, almost right away. They don't waste much time.
Yeah, exactly. So they're down there, and it's like a backlot version of Earth, like...
Yeah, and from what I understand, it's actually one of the streets from Mayberry. It's one of the Mayberry streets, so...
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, what is that show with Opie
The
Cunningham?
Andy Griffith
The Andy
show.
Griffith Show, sorry.
Yeah.
The Andy Griffith Show.
I was wondering where you're going with this.
shot there.
I thought that covered it, the Mayberry show.
I don't know if Floyd's barber shop was in there, but it'd be
The
funny.
bank, I think, is in there.
Yeah, maybe the
I'm not
bank.
sure.
Or the jail or something.
If you guys know, write it down right away. And just
Yeah,
let
that would be
us
cool.
know. That would be really great to have notes like that.
So they all beam down. There's two red shirts. There's Spock, McCoy, and Kirk and Yeoman Rand.
Yeoman Rand, yep.
Why is Yeoman Rand going down suddenly?
I don't know, but I think it's a refreshing choice.
Yeah.
You know, why not?
Well,
You know,
later
get her down
on,
there. She'll
yeah.
take notes for Kirk or something in his log or something.
Well, we'll
Who knows?
find out later why it's important that she's there.
Yeah.
So they're walking around and they're like, oh my God, this is like stuck in the 20th century.
Right, and then Spock's like, yes, I estimate I would say 1960s.
So he kind of goes off to go. Kirk says something to him. I don't know what he says.
Yeah.
Something about something happened here or something. And Yeoman Rand. What does Spock say? And then Yeoman Rand says, "Nobody alive."
Yeah.
What does he say?
He's something about inconclusive or something. They come across this pile of junk, and it's a tricycle.
Yeah,
remember?
tricycle. That's right. And Kirk goes and picks it up and looks at it and kind of smiles.
It's all
and
busted up, missing the front wheel.
hands it to McCoy.
And McCoy, for some reason, takes it very irreverently and places it back on the pile as everybody kind of backs away and does their thing.
And then suddenly, you hear this, mine! And all of a sudden, this big pink guy, I call him Mr. Pink, because he's got a pink shirt on, and he's got pink face, and he's got like a surfer hairdo.
Yeah.
And he runs in there, he's like, mine, and attacks McCoy.
Right, jumps on him, and then Kirk gets on him and pulls him off, and starts just like in Kirk fashion, punches him boom, 2 or 3 times.
Dude,
right
he's like Cole Cox that kid.
Yeah, man, and then he's like crying. The kid's crying. Oh, it's broken. Fix it for me, please.
Yeah, and
fix
McCoy's
it.
like,
Fix.
Don't worry, we'll fix it. It's
Yeah.
McCoy. Thanks, McCoy. He'll fix it.
Yeah.
Let's get some tools.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so he all of a sudden he goes into some convulsion, and McCoy's like, he's going into some kind of convulsion or something, and he dies right there.
Yeah, he dies right there, and he's like, it's like his body aged hundreds of years in just this few moments.
Right, exactly. And they're all like, oh, that's really weird. So that's the first clue that they had.
Something is up.
Yeah, and then they're kind of around him, and all of a sudden they hear something. Kirk's like, let's go!
And they run. The music.
Yeah.
And they're running.
Yeah.
And they go into a place.
Yeah, they go into a building, go into a room, and there's like this
Steinway piano.
Yeah.
And Kirk's like, how old is that?
300 years. He must be a Steinway piano enthusiast.
Yes.
And he knows what model it is.
Yes,
Because this is an Earth, even though they don't mention it, another Earth again.
They don't even, it never comes up conveniently.
Only during the captain's log, I think, early on. That's it.
Yeah. They hear a noise, and there's like, they go over to a closet, and they open the closet door. Mm-hmm. There's a teenage girl, Miri.
It's Miri. And she's really scared. And Kirk kind of says, it's okay. We're not going to hurt you. We won't hurt you. Mm-hmm. And he like pulls her out of the closet and sits her down. And Yeoman Rand is with her. And she's left to kind of deal with Miri. And Kirk goes back over to Spock and tells Spock to go check out the area.
Yeah.
And then McCoy looks at him and he goes, what happened to that girl? Was she so afraid of us?
And so played by the incomparable Kim Darby.
Kim Darby, yes. Yeah. She was actually in the original True Grit with John Wayne.
Yeah, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. I love that movie.
Yeah, and she was a character actress around. She kicked around in Hollywood for a long time. I think she died about maybe 10 or 15 years ago.
I don't know for sure. If you know, write down below.
Yeah, you can. We do like your comments, guys, so continue
absolutely.
on. Yeah,
really good performance.
They sit her down, and they're asking about what's going on. What happened here, and something about the grubs.
Yeah, she's like, is this a foolie? I got to know I can't play. I have to know the rules. And they're like, whoa, what are they talking about?
I guess they call games Fool Me or something like that?
Foolies. Yeah, foolies.
And they're like, what? I don't understand. Yeah. They don't understand what she's talking about.
Right. And
they
she keeps talking. Yeah, she's talking about the grubs, you know.
And finally, they're like, what is a grub? What is a grub? And then Yeoman Rand goes, grown-ups.
Yeah, there you go. And
she's talking
Rand
about grown-ups.
Figured it out.
So that's why she was there.
Yes.
Mystery solved. Yeah, they call up the grubs, and Miri's telling about the before times when they were mean, And McCoy seems to think that there was some kind of plague that happened.
Yeah, because she said the grubs all got sick and eventually died. And were mean and died.
I don't remember what exactly happened to where basically Rand and McCoy just kind of dismiss themselves from the scene, and then all of a sudden it's just McCoy and Miri. But then it gets a little creepy.
Yeah.
Because I think I call it like Kirk's going to turn on charm to get some intel.
Right, he's trying to get some intel from her.
Yeah. So he kind of sits next to her, and he's like going, "What is your name?" And she goes, "Miri." And what does he say? He's like going,
"That's a pretty name."
That's right. And she's like going, "What thing?" And then he says, and then he follows it up with what?
Pretty name for a pretty young woman.
And then she looks up. She's like going, "I'm pretty."
Yeah. Very pretty.
But like in the show, she was like 14, right, or whatever.
Yeah.
Actually, when they were shooting, she was 19.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, she was 19.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
And
but it's still going creepy. It's on the creep factor.
Yeah, because she looks too young for Kirk, obviously. And as far as Kirk knows, he thinks that she's prepubescent, a young girl.
Just a kid.
So he's basically turning on the charms to really kind of make her say and do what he wants, which is kind of like a...
Yeah.
Not good.
Well, it cuts to outside, and Spock's walking around, looking around with the two guards, the red shirts.
And the guy on the right, he really looks like a Teamster.
Yeah, totally. The guy on the left looks like something from Central Casting, but the guy on the right definitely a Teamster. They went out back and grabbed him.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Well, so they hear these noises from these kids, and they get rocks thrown on top of them, and
you hear the na
which is so annoying.
It got really fast too.
Yeah.
And so they're back inside the room, and Spock runs in, and
and he's like describing, yes, the children. There's children everywhere, and he's trying to paint the picture that there's hundreds of them, and you didn't get to see them because they scattered like animals.
And then so they discuss a little bit more, and they decide that Miri probably knows where a hospital is.
Right.
So Kirk's going to go over and ask her about a hospital, and he says, "Do you know? Is there a place where the doctors used to be?" And she's like going, what did she say? Oh, those grubs with them pills and things.
Yeah.
That's right. Then while he's like kind of comforting her and basically, about to ask her for she stood up and he's about to comfort her a little bit, and all of a sudden he sees the thing on his arm. She sees the thing on his hand.
Yeah.
The little blue thing.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh no, my God!" She starts tripping out.
I knew what happened. I told you.
Yeah. He's tripping out. She's tripping out real bad.
So they're in they find the place, the hospital.
Yeah, which is well equipped, they say, because
for 1960s equipment.
Yeah, McCoy's over
breaking out the antiques.
Yeah, McCoy's over at an old microscope, and Rand over there with them. Spock is off doing something. And Kirk is just like, why do you think the disease doesn't affect Spock?
Yeah, and he goes, it's that green blood of his.
That's right, that's what McCoy said.
And Spock is like, doing his banter. Red-blooded humans have the disadvantage.
So
yeah. Well, first they find out, hey, here it is. Oh, it's a life prolongation project. So apparently that scientists had come up with a way to extend human life.
Right.
But it
didn't work.
Horribly wrong.
Obviously.
Yes. Yeah.
Did not work. So Spock goes over and he has a theory about when people get the disease.
Yes. Hey, doctor, tell me, when children go through puberty, don't their bodies change?
Yeah, you know this. I mean, you know this, Mr. Spock, of course.
Yeah. It's like, why? Oh. And so he figured out that when you go into puberty, you get this disease. It makes you susceptible. You automatically, and it happens all the time.
Yeah, and so he kind of looks over at Miri. He's like going, and Mary's becoming a woman.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
And she's like looking at some things.
She's
kind of hanging out.
They figure out that you age 1 month for every 100 years. And, of course, Rand is like, 1 month for 100 years?
Yeah.
She's like shocked.
Yeah.
They're children forever. Yeah. So Spock basically figures out that they're 300 years old at least.
Yes. Yeah, he's like, that woman is 300 years old.
That's right.
Older than you. This is very much a Lost Boys / Peter Pan story. Like what would happen if you were young forever kind of thing.
Right.
But it has a price.
McCoy says a child entering puberty is like a death sentence.
Yeah, that's a great line.
Yeah, it was a good line.
Yeah.
So Kirk kind of talks to Miri about going out and trying to find the other kids.
Right. He says, let's, I'm going to go find them. It's something like that.
So then we cut into, we see the kids for the first time.
The actor you said, I don't know his name, the guy plays John with an A.
Michael Pallard.
Yeah, who you said was in Bonnie and Clyde.
He was one of the gang members of the Bonnie and Clyde film from like 1967 or whatever it was.
See, I thought he looked familiar.
Yeah.
Like I kept thinking he was like, because he's so annoying and weird.
But he was about the same age because I think this, like I said, I think Bonnie and Clyde was 67, 68. This was like 67, 68, 67 basically.
Yeah.
So we see the kids for the first time and John is in there and he is basically kind of going over who are these guys. Yeah. And, we've got to do something. And they were talking about, they speak into those boxes.
Yeah.
To talk to wherever they're talking to. And so it comes to the plan to take away the communicators.
Yes.
So they are all alone, and
That's
they have nobody to talk to.
Yeah, that's right. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
And then there's some, I don't know, some chat back and some nonsense stuff, where they have these weird nonsense words like foolies or whatever. But they see Kirk and Miri coming towards their location.
One of the lookout kids is like, look out there.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, then they decide to scatter. Kirk comes in with Miri. And he's looking around. They're gone. Yeah. But then Louise runs out, who's this post-pubescent adolescent who has the disease.
Crazy long hair. When I first saw it, I was like, oh look, it's his girlfriend from Talos 4.
Talos 4.
Yeah,
yes.
It's the girl from Talos 4.
The girl from Talos 4.
But it wasn't. It was just girl. What was her name?
Her character's name was Louise. I don't know the actress that played her though.
So she attacks him, jumps on him.
He knocks her down and shoots his phaser at her, stuns her, but kills her.
Yeah, he's like, I don't understand. It was set on the lowest setting.
Yeah,
but she's
not
dead.
Set to kill.
Yeah, it's not set to kill. Miri says, that's Louise. She's a little older than I am.
Right. So.
And they don't believe that, sometimes Miri.
Yes.
Anyway,
it's coming.
So she is scared and she kind of like goes into Kirk and he hugs her. And,
is that when he hugs her? Like a little maternal
she's
hug?
super scared, right?
Yeah.
And so then we're into the lab again.
Goes back to the lab and she's sharpening pencils,
which is it's like busy work for Miri.
Yeah, she's like, is that enough, Jim?
Yeah.
I was like, no, we could actually use some more, Miri, if you don't mind. Mm-hmm. Like, we really need a lot of pencils, 300-year-old pencils, please.
Yeah.
So she's sharpening more pencils just to keep her busy.
Yeah. So they see he goes over and talks to McCoy, and they're kind of talking about how much time they have, and he's like, "We don't have a lot of time."
Yeah.
We got what Spock kind of figures out that well, he says that he is actually a carrier, so he has to be on the. Yeah. He's like going, I'm a carrier. I can't go on the ship, and I do not. I want to get back to the ship.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna figure this shit out.
Right.
Is basically what he's saying.
That's right. Yeah. So they calculate they have 7 days left.
Yeah. Then
they confirmed it with the computer.
And then there's a break, and we come back, and I actually think 2 days have gone by.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, because they're talking about basically trying to. Have they stolen? They have not stolen the.
No, not yet.
Not yet. They're talking about how long it's going to take, and hopefully they can get. Oh no, he discovers.
They found the disease.
Germ.
They actually found the germ.
Yeah.
They have 5 days left. And like, at least now we're in the race, kind of thing.
Yeah, and Kirk says, what does he say? Because I got the line for McCoy. What? Kirk says what? He says, you better get going on that.
Oh yeah, he goes, well. You gotta. He made a really short list of things he had to do. Well, you gotta think like them, identify the disease, come up with a cure, and
McCoy says, "Is that all, Captain? Yeah. We got 5 days. We got 5 days.
That's right. That's right."
Yeah, he was just like, and then Kirk kind of goes, "Yeah, you're right. It is a lot. It's a big list."
Yeah, exactly.
A big list. We only got 5 days. And then they hear the kids.
Yes, and they run after to go and find the kids.
And it's only McCoy, Kirk, and Spock in the lab at that point. They all run out, and all of a sudden, John comes out of a little kind of air vent.
Yeah.
And he takes all of their communication devices.
Yeah.
So this is my question. Two things. One, how sloppy are you where you don't have your communication device on you at all times?
Right. I mean, it's easily Velcroed to you. Why would you not have it on you?
And they come back in and they're bumming out. It's like, oh, we need those communications device. We have to talk to the ship so we know that we're on our track for our cure. And okay, where are the 2 red shirts?
Yeah, don't they have communicators like, hey, check in with the red shirts, see how they're doing?
We don't see them again.
No. Did you notice that you didn't see them at all?
I don't remember seeing them again the rest of the show. I might be wrong.
I don't remember seeing them.
I don't remember seeing. I'll probably find out in the edit that they show up later, but I don't see them. Where are their communication devices?
Right. They would have them on them because they're while keeping the peace or whatever. They're like guarding them.
Yeah,
They would have their communicators.
Yeah, because
it's just like, where's the space shuttle? Where's the shuttle?
That's right.
You know.
Actually, we do see a red shirt again.
We do? When?
Okay, we'll get to it. So there's kind of like a time change, right?
Yes, because they have 2 days left.
Yeah, they're starting to get a little angry.
Yeah, they're getting all testy, and they figure out that the food is running out, so the children are going to starve to death because they figured out somehow that that, I don't know, maybe the security guys were out looking in,
Yeah, and who was it?
Analyzing that.
He's like going, find the cure, and he's like, damn it, do it yourself.
Like, would you like a crack at it?
Yeah, exactly. and Kirk kind of walks over and kind of bumps into fucking Rand. Rand drops some beaker, and she's gets pissed off and runs out. Yeah. Kirk runs after her.
Stops her in the hallway. They have a moment.
She's like really bummed out, and she's basically says, she's like going, on the ship, I tried to get you to look at my legs. And he's like, what? Yeah. And then she's like going, Captain, look at my legs. And you see a shot of her legs. And
Miri, he kind of glances down. And
Miri's over kind of at the doorway, kind of watching and stuff.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Rand kind of like, oh, I'm so upset. And like, he hugs her.
Yeah, he hugs her. And he says, we're all a little tense. Something like that.
A little tense. And Miri's like looking at her like going, oh, that bitch.
We're all frightened. Yeah.
I got to do something about this. That's when McCoy says, come on in here. I found something, McCoy. Yeah. And they run him back in, and McCoy finds the germ.
Yeah, he found the Kirk. He's like, yeah, I was slightly out of focus, and I was my blurred vision. I missed the slide on the. Oh, and Kirk's like, all right, then fuck that, man. Fuck it. Come on, get to the point. What happened? He goes, I found it. I found the disease.
Yeah, found the disease.
And they're like, oh, then we can do a cure. And he's like, well, at least we're in the race now.
Yeah, and Kirk kind of does a back step toward Rand, and Rand grabs him, and he grabs her, and they're all like happy and stuff, grabbing each other. Yeah. And Miri is looking at this like just basically, she's like, I gotta get rid of that bitch. Yeah. Pretty much. That's what she was looking. That's the look. So now we cut to
Miri and the kids.
Yeah, Miri's now conspiring how to get rid of Rand.
Yeah, she's like, those grups and their.
Yeah, we gotta get rid of the yeoman. Yeah, we've gotta capture her. And then what's his name? Johnny's like going, I think they could probably do with one less, or something like that.
Yeah, they can do it without one.
Yeah, she's like, no, 2, because we can get the captain over here.
Yeah, Mr. Lovey-Dovey.
Mr. Lovey-Dovey.
Yeah, Lovey-Dovey. Bonk, bonk on the head, lovey-dovey.
That's right, they're going. But the kid with the weird kind of like teeth.
Yeah,
bonk, bonk on the head.
That weird kid. Yeah, she's like, she's always asking about the children, and I'll tell him one of you got hurt, and he's like, tell him it was me, Mary.
Yeah,
tell him it was me. I want to play the game because I'm like 300 years old. That stupid kid.
Little known fact, that kid was actually in The Godfather 2.
Which is crazy.
Just a weird
that is crazy.
He showed as uncredited, so he must have been somebody in a room or something, some shot. Who knows?
Makes me want to go back and watch that.
I know,
movie
just look out for that bonk kid.
The bonk kid. Maybe somebody gets killed.
Probably. Maybe he gets killed.
Yeah, he has a face for someone like that.
Yeah, someone would do that. Okay, so
yeah, Mr. Lovey-Dovey. Then there's a break, and it cuts to like. Kirk is talking to Miri like, "Where's Janice? Where is Janice?" Like there's a whole scene missing, like you said, John.
Yeah, it's like where's the scene where they kind of get Janice to lure Janice and they capture her? There is none. So I'm guessing they ran out of time.
Am I remembering that there was a scene like that?
I don't remember a scene like that, to tell you the truth. I just never noticed it. Because we watched the special edition, right? Which means
they would have put everything in. Yeah, weird. But you're right. It feels like it's missing.
It feels like there's something missing.
Yeah.
Because there is something missing. We didn't see her get captured. So Kirk is asking her where the hell is Rand?
Right.
Janice.
At
this point, he's calling her Janice.
Yeah, because he might as well. He's going to die.
She's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But she knows. Wait a second. She asks, "Are you feeling all right, Jim?"
Oh, is that where she says? I don't remember that.
Yeah. Are you feeling all right, Jim? He goes, "None of us are feeling all right."
Yeah. We need those communicators.
Yeah.
And Spock has that line, we need Jim, we need to speak to the ship, because otherwise this is a beaker of death.
Yeah.
Because he thinks they found the cure, but they have to match it up with their computers.
Yeah, they have to. They need to communicate. They don't have it. They don't have a communication device. You're right,
man.
So Kirk's got to put the fire up now. So he goes over to Miri.
Oh yeah.
And says, "Okay, listen. You're becoming a woman.
Yeah.
And what happens when you get older, you're going to get the disease, Mary. Your friends are going to get the disease, and you're all going to die eventually."
No, it only happens sometimes.
No, not sometimes. All of the times, Mary. All of the times.
Yeah, I love that part.
And he's like still trying to push, like put, basically pound it into her that she's going to get sick too.
Yeah, and he's like, "Don't you wonder why you don't like playing games anymore, Miri?
Yeah.
Because you're becoming a woman." You know? It's like,
and she still doesn't believe him. And then she's like, "Oh yeah, well look," and like puts her hand down. She's got the big blue thing on her arm.
Yeah,
she's got the disease.
Yep, she's got it.
He's like, look. He's like taking her head
and shoving it
down to her arm, and she's no. And finally, she hugs him because she's so scared.
Yeah, of course.
So we go into
they go and it cuts to the children. They're playing the teacher game.
And the kids down there like going, what do you say? What was the first thing he starts chanting? Something about homework or no?
Study.
Yeah, he's like study.
And then that's it, and they all applaud because he got the game.
He just won the prize.
Yeah, I don't
It's
get the
kind of
game,
a weird
don't
game.
know it. They're all annoying personally. It's just
very
so
strange.
annoying. It's so weird. And then Miri opens the door crack and peeks in on them. And she's like, "Hey, Miri, what are you doing here, Miri?
Yeah.
Is something wrong? What's going on? You shouldn't be here."
Yeah. And Rand's already in the room too, by the way.
Come on in here. Oh, yeah, Rand's there, and she's like, "What are you going to do, kill me?" And they're like, I don't know what they said.
I don't know either. But
yeah, she's tied up like an old cereal thing with the thick rope.
Yeah.
And the rope looks brand new.
All you need is a railroad track.
Exactly. Pollyanna. Yeah, and so then
Miri walks in with Kirk.
Yeah. And they're like, "Oh, Miri, you brought Kirk with you." Kind of
Go, Miri.
grub, he's a grub.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then she goes, "No, listen." She goes, "Tell him, Jim."
And they're like, "Tell him, Jim.
Tell him, Jim. Tell him, Jim. Tell him, Jim. Tell him, Jim."
Anyway,
so annoying.
I know, man, dude. It's totally ever.
And he goes, "Oh, blah, blah, blah." And he goes, "No, blah, blah, blah."
Yeah, and so Kirk is really trying to emphasize how dangerous it is. They're going to be like, once they get older, they're going to whatever.
Yeah.
And there's this kid actually in the room. He looks like Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. And then he looks
with
just
the
like
hair
him.
and everything.
Yeah, he looks just like him, dude. And then they start chanting, right? Na, 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 na. They do that again.
Oh my God, yes.
And then
they beat the shit out of
they
him.
just
They
beat
bump
the hell out
him
of
on the head.
They do. They beat the shit out of him.
And then the camera pans up to a little girl just standing there looking at. She has green hair and she was a mess. And then it cuts you'd think a commercial break, but then it cuts back. And he busts out of the curtain. He's all bloody. He's like, okay, you want a Foley? I got a Foley for you. Look at my arms.
Yeah.
He starts saying, "Look at my arms. I got the disease. You're going to get the disease.
Yeah.
You want a Foley? Come here. I dare you. I double dare you." And he grabs that one kid.
The red-haired kid.
And he rips him off
Oh,
of
man,
the
he looks
desk.
like he about pulled his arm out of his socket.
Yeah,
dude.
he rips him out. He goes, "Look at the blood on my face. Now look at the blood on your hands. Who's doing the hurting now? You're just like the grubs." Mm-hmm. And he starts talking. He gets them to be sort of convinced. And still, that guy's like, "Yeah."
Yeah, he's like, "You're gonna get the disease just like Miri."
That was awesome.
Oh, he's like "I'm a grub."
Yeah.
Didn't he say that?
Yeah.
He did say I'm a grub.
Yeah, he's like, "I'm a grub."
That's right.
Yeah, just like that, man.
So now we're back into the lab, and McCoy and Kirk are there, and Kirk and McCoy.
Not McCoy and Spock. Spock's putting the little red container thing on the hypo spray.
They think they've got it, but they don't want to do anything with it because they need communication devices to make sure that it's working.
Right, and time is running out. They're down to hours before they die.
Because we and Kirk and Spock is like, we can't do it. We can't do it. It's too dangerous. We could kill us. Yeah. And so he kind of sits there for a second. And he says,
"Yeah." He goes, "This bickering is pointless. I'm going to check on the captain's progress."
And he leaves. And my theory is that he leaves knowing that McCoy is going to test it.
No way.
Knowing, because McCoy takes the hypo spray after he leaves, and he's like debating, and he says, "I'm doing it," and he does the hypo spray, and he slams onto the table, and he yells for Spock.
Yeah.
And we turn to Spock, and Spock is talking to the other red shirt.
So that red shirt was there, and he's asking the red shirt, "Where's your communicator?"
Yeah, what happened? What happened to your communicator? So he runs in. They both run in.
That's the one from Central Casting he's talking
yes,
to.
Yeah. Not the other
Teamster.
Guy. So they run in, and they see McCoy on the ground. And McCoy is knocked out, and the red shirt says, "Is he dead?" And Spock says, "Not yet."
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Kirk then comes down the hall.
Busts in. He's carrying a girl.
Triumphantly.
Yeah, and he's on the... Okay, 3 hours, 11 minutes. Thanks. And he turns up his...
And who's the kid he's holding?
The kid he's holding is his actual daughter in real life, William Shatner's daughter.
That's cool.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. What's her name?
I don't know. I don't know which
See,
one
we
it
are
is.
fans, not experts.
Yeah, if you can figure out the name, which daughter it was. If you are the daughter,
yeah,
write it down.
Come on the show.
Say hi.
Open invitation.
Yeah, exactly. And what I also heard was Yeoman Rand had a couple kids that are in that scene too. Yeoman Rand,
really?
Janet, what's her name? The actress?
Whitney.
Yeah. John Whitney.
Yeah, John Whitney's
Joan
wife.
Whitney. Wait, what? John Whitney. Yeah, Grace Lee Whitney. Her kids are in there. There's 3 of her kids are in that crowd.
Oh, shit.
Isn't that weird?
Maybe Michelle Nichols' kid is. Well, she's not on the show, so she's not there.
Why they put that.
So we don't know where this was shot and what sequence. Was even she on the show at that time? We don't know.
So anyway, then they bust in. He's like upset because he thinks his friends could be dead, and
he walks
Spock's
in,
holding
like,
his head, and he goes, "Oh, look at the blemishes," and the blemishes start to fade.
Yeah, they're disappearing.
Yeah, right in front of him.
Right in front of him, and finally it's like there's hope, and he stands up. Kirk stands up, and he like goes into the crowd of kids, touches one of the kids' head.
Yeah.
Walks away, and John goes, "Is this supposed to be a good thing, Miri?" And she says, "Of course it is."
That jerk. He said it in a jerky way.
He's like,
This is supposed to be a good thing too, Miri.
all right, you're still a grub.
Yeah, Miri.
You're still a grub, Mary. What, is this supposed to be a good thing? He had that "you're a grub" look at him.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're up at the ship.
Yeah.
And they're leaving orbit,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
And Rand looks at him and looks at Kirk and says, "You know what? Miri really loved you."
He says, "Yes, I make it a point not to get involved with older women, Yeoman."
That's right. Look at it. She like looks at it like, smile. "Oh, you cad, you." And that's it. That's the show.
That's the show. The end.
That's the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do we think of Miri?
I did really like it.
Yeah.
You know,
It had a few plot holes. The communication devices with the red shirt things. But
Yeah. But in general, it was a really good episode. It's pushing the edge of the creep factor with him.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I did have one question though.
Yeah.
So they said they were going to leave teachers and and doctors down on the planet to take care of the kids. I mean, there's got to be millions out of that planet, you know, and so they got to put a shit ton of doctors and teachers down there, you know, and maybe they can't come back because they're carriers of it.
Yeah.
Well,
and McCoy did say,
yeah.
and probably truant officers.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like 500 truant officers.
Hell yeah, that's funny because they're a bunch of punks down there.
Yeah, punk ass.
If there's any more Johns down there, they're in big trouble.
We don't want to learn.
Yeah, it's like.
Just want to
Can you
play.
imagine the teachers? They're still going to want to go, nee, teacher. All right, so that's it. So the next episode is Dagger of the Mind, and we will see you next time.
Edith Keeler's Edge of Forever Bar and Grill. Until then,
Cheers.